Full screen. View on the.
Good evening, everyone. Hope you all had a great weekend. I'm really excited and delighted to see you all here. Thank you for joining us today. I would like to welcome you all on behalf of the Smart Bridge for today's launch of special cohort of Salesforce supported virtual internship program 2022. This is Ramya here and I'll be your host for today. Thank you. Today we are excited and proud to launch the special cohort for Andhra Pradesh State in partnership with Andhra Pradesh State Council for Higher Education. The Salesforce supported virtual internship program is a national level skilling initiative launched to upskill 20,000 plus learners on Salesforce technologies. According to the International Data Corporation, Salesforce and its partner ecosystem would generate around 66.4 billion in new business revenue between 2020 and 2026 and create 1.3 million direct and indirect jobs in India. So in order to cater to this rising demand for Salesforce talent, Salesforce, in collaboration with AICTE, NASSCOM, Future Skills, Monster, GitHub, has come up with an outcome-based skilling initiative, which we call Virtual Internship Program 2022. So the program has been running in cohorts, and the first cohort was successfully completed with more than 5,000 completions. Today, we are launching this special cohort for Andhra Pradesh State. So without any further delay, let me acknowledge the presence of the guests. We feel really honored to have with us today Dr. Kehim Chandra, Chairman, APCHI, Mr. Shukumar Godaiya, Director, Trailhead Academy, Salesforce, Ms. Sridevi Sira, National Lead, NASSCOM Future Skills, NASSCOM, Ms. Joshna Bitra, Salesforce Architect, Artsian, Mr. Yudhishthir Yadav, National Lead, Trailhead Academy, Talent Initiatives, Salesforce. I welcome you all today and thank you for joining us today. Thank you all. So without further any delay, I would like to introduce you our first guest, and I'm really happy and honored to introduce Dr. Kehim Chandra, Chairman, APCHI. Dr. Kehim Chandra has over 30 years of teaching experience, out of which 17 years he was professor at JNTU Anantapur. During this tenure, he served as Director Academic and Planning and later served as Registrar of JNTU Anantapur. He has published more than 139 technical papers in various national and international journals, also attended 40 national and international conferences. He served as National Executive Council member of Indian Society for Technical Education, New Delhi, for 2 terms, and nominated to the National Council of Institute of Engineers for the year 2015. Nominated as Secretary, ISTE Andhra Pradesh section for a period of 3 years. Now I would like to request Dr. Kehim Chandra to address the audience. Over to you, sir.
Hi, Ramya. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. At the outset, let me very profusely and very sincerely thank the Salesforce team for giving that special cohort to Andhra Pradesh. I think we are all set to receive all the help that Futuresoft, Salesforce and NASCOM is extending to the state of Andhra Pradesh. I think as discussed on the MOU signing day, we said we are confident of mapping at least 50,000. We have mapped around 45,000 students. So that seriously, talks about the commitment we have towards taking this Salesforce initiative much deeper into all the higher education institutions, particularly technical education institutions. I must sincerely thank Shukumar, Sridevi, and Yudhishthir for all the support that they have extended to us. I'm seriously looking forward to go with this blended mode of learning, mutually beneficial relationship for the years to come. And this is only a beginning. I thought Andhra is fully geared up to take up such, virtual internships coming in our way. In fact, I told on the MOU signing day itself, as a policy, we have decided to give mandatory internship to all 3.5 lakh students. Now, this 50,000, I'm sure going forward, we will request Salesforce to increase the number, and thereby, we create a very strong ecosystem for Salesforce in the state of Andhra Pradesh. I think we did a sincere effort towards this. And I must also thank from my side our Vice Chairman, Professor Rammohan Rao Garu, and my technical associate, Mr. Dinesh, who has been working very hard in materializing all these, collaborations. And this special cohort, in fact, it has come at a right point of time to Andhra Pradesh state. And for this, once again, I take an opportunity to sincerely thank Salesforce team, particularly Yudhishthira and Shiva. And Sridevi, I need not talk about her. Every platform, I keep talking about her. And we always treat her as a member of AppShe, our team. So Sridevi, your support is ultimate, and we are so grateful to you for all the support you are extending to AP State Council of Higher Education. Going forward, we would like to strengthen this relationship. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you once again. And it was a pleasure to have you here. Thank you, sir. Moving on next, I would like to introduce our next speaker, Mr. Shukumar Godaiya, Director, Trailhead Academy, Salesforce. Mr. Shivakumar is a sales professional with 17 plus years of experience in the education industry, process consulting, and delivery management. He drives Salesforce India education business, leading sales operations and delivery teams to meet the ends of customers, partners, and internal staff, managing the overall growth and profitability of the education PU, and ensuring adherence to Salesforce corporate strategies. Passionate to build the Salesforce resources in the market through Academic Alliance program designed for the students. Now I would like to request Mr. Shivkumar to take over, please. Over to you, Mr. Shivkumar.
Thank you so much, Ramya. And first and foremost, thank you so much for the AppShe team. M. Chandra Garu, Ram Mohan Garu. Thank you so much. Really appreciate this partnership. And it's great to see that, kind of a investment, the government is making it to make for students uh, to bridge the technical competency within the student community. I really appreciate for this partnership. Now, as Amy Chandragaru said it, this is a first step. We would like to see much more things coming up for the students from this particular partnership and the collaboration. I would like to probably brief about a little bit more about Salesforce side of it. A lot of people, a lot of students might not know much about it. Probably they're going to learn more as in they sign up for this particular program. Salesforce is one of the largest tech industry in the globe. So especially on the CRM space, we have been consecutively awarded number one in the CRM space as per the IDC report. As we've been conquered a number one position for past 9 years, so we have a market share close to 24% in the CRM space, in the CRM market, which is our closest competitor, not even 4 to 5% of the market share. So that's a kind of a market share, Salesforce holds, and the capability holds in that particular space. We are the fifth top five great place to work in India. So we will be in the number one in coming years. So we have close to 11 million trailblazers across the globe. We have a presence across 90 countries. As Ramya said, during our opening speech, globally, Salesforce economy is going to create 9.3 million jobs across the globe by 2026, which is not too far away from now. When we look at it for India perspective, now what's in for India, we have 1.3 million jobs by 2026. That means 13 lakh job. That's a kind of an opportunity exists for our India ecosystem, the students like you, right? There's so much of opportunity exists. The demand from the market. Do we have a supply towards that particular demand? At this point of time, it's not much. It's a great opportunity for everybody to build their career in number one CRM company in the globe. So with that note, I will hand it over to Ramya, and welcome, and looking forward to build the Salesforce economy ecosystems in Indian market.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Shukumar, and talking about the opportunities we would really have in India, and also explaining so clearly about Salesforce. Thank you so much. So moving on next, we have our next speaker, Ms. Sridevi Sira, National Lead, NASSCOM Future Skills. Ms. Sridevi is highly focused, result-oriented business development professional with strong exposure in expanding business in dynamic and changing markets. Transform non-transform performance business units into top performers, delivered multifold growth of revenue and market share, effective translated clients' requirements into training solutions by leveraging on deep technical understanding and skills, notched up multi-million-dollar contracts and won business from key accounts in IT industries such as HCL, Virtusa, and Cognizant. Now I would like to request Ms. Sridevi to take over. Over to you, Ms. Sridevi.
Well, thank you so much, Ramya, for that generous introduction. Good evening, everyone. And this is one of the special evenings, I can definitely say this. Since the pandemic, the cloud computing has emerged as a mission-critical technology for enterprises, governments, and all the consumers. It's not the underpinning of the technology for digital transformation, but it is also enabling innovation for and collaboration amongst the ecosystem players. As a nation, when we vie towards $1 trillion digital economy by 2026, cloud computing has the potential to transform Indian economy technologically and make it more resilient and inclusive. Like, Shiva definitely pointed out the IDC report. According to IDC, the demand for cloud services is all set to grow almost about 22%. And it is definitely calling in for a lot of investments into the cloud domain. It's talking about 8.5 billion by 2026. Over the same period, the cloud computing by Salesforce customers will be adding almost about $66.4 million in business revenues to the local economy. One of the favorite lines that I definitely reflect upon is a line from Ms. Arundhati, the CEO from Salesforce. She says, the growth in the Salesforce economy really does go back to the idea of collaboration and community. This particular, thing is an actually opening remark, I should say, is the point from where NASSCOM has collaborated with Salesforce. And we are very thankful for the kind of partnership and the collaborative initiatives that we've been working on. One such, gem that has come out of the collaboration is definitely this virtual internship program. While everybody was out of gear in the last 24 months, we were trying to rake our brains, trying to see how is it that we can still ensure the practical component of learning is not missed out by any learner. Because that's going to be the mission critical point for all of you when you go and start working in the organizations. Organizations would always love to see what kind of hands-on experience and exposure would you have with you. And definitely creating an opportunity for you to get that hands-on exposure is this virtual internship program that we have launched with Salesforce. We are extremely delighted that, AppShe has come forward, and thanks so much for the warm words by Kehim Chandra sir and, excellent collaboration by Ramchandra sir and Dinesh Garu. We actually are able to create a special focus for AP. This is a special cohort where we are looking at how is it that we're going to make that impactful learning on cloud technologies through Salesforce program in the state of Andhra Pradesh. That takes me to actually tell you a little about what kind of a program is this and why is this so unique that all of you should pay attention to. When new technologies come into the market, it is very important for the organizations to look at what kind of a standard, manpower am I going to hire, or, are we going to recruit? When the technology is new, standardizing becomes a little challenging for every organization. As a sector scale council, we collaborate with the industry folks, understand what do they look for a particular job role, arrive at the competencies, and we set a national standard for the particular job role. We're very thankful that Salesforce came forward and aligned their curriculum and helped us map it to one of the national occupational standards for a developer catalyst job role. The program is something which has got so much of hands-on experience and exposure for you so that you will actually use a lot of community learning also apart from the virtual internship caliber capabilities that are added to this. The excellent part is Smart Bridge coming in and adding the practical component for the program. AICTE recognizing this entire initiative and recognizing this as one of the virtual internship programs for the state, for the country. And of course, AppShe, we don't have to really highlight multiple times. This is definitely one of the state which always grabbed the opportunity at the first go. And they came back and they said, okay, let's create a special division, a focused program for AP. And here we are talking about this, and we are all excited to drive all of you towards this program and help you complete this course and get the required skills as per the standards of the nation. You're just not learning a course through a self-learning mode, but you're getting a lot of hands-on experience with which my colleague UD will actually speak once he comes on board. Thank you so much for this opportunity. We're certainly looking forward for all of you completing this program and getting certified through this virtual internship program. Come, let's go and learn there. Back to you, Ramya.
Thank you so much, Ms. Sridevi, and thank you for mentioning about the uniqueness of the program and also how everybody came together to come up with this wonderful program, virtual internship program. Thank you so much. Moving on next, we have our next speaker. I would like to introduce Ms. Joshna Bitra, Salesforce Architect, ASEAN. Joshna is 16x certified application architect, Golden Hoodie recipient, founder of MC Learning Camp and Salesforce Marketers Group, Phoenix. Around 18 years of IT experience with 10 plus in Salesforce, recipient of President's Volunteer Service Award, USA. Now I would like to request Ms. Joshna to please take over. Over to you, Ms. Joshna.
Thanks a lot, Ramya. Thanks for the nice introduction. And firstly, I'm very proud and honored to be on the panel along with all of the experts and dignitaries. It's very motivating to listen to what they have to tell. And for sure, the facts that they have shared about what kind of impact that Salesforce is going to make in the next coming years, I suggest everyone to make a note of it and take advantage of it. Be the first to grab the opportunity and be ready. And Ramya, I have a quick slides I want to share quickly. I am going to do the screen share.
Sure, definitely.
I think I do not have the access. Maybe you need to stop the screen share.
I'll just request the team to make you co-host. Yeah.
Okay. So firstly, I would like to congratulate everybody on this cohort, because getting into the cohort is a wonderful opportunity. Even in my personal experience, I have seen many people who wanted to start their career in the Salesforce, but then they could not find the proper channel. They could definitely find the resources on the Trailhead and other channels, but it's like the complete program which takes care about introduction to the Salesforce and then getting you acquainted with the soft skills and then connecting with the companies, which is very important factor for you to get the job. This program has everything. I would say this is one of the best programs offered. And I would say for any great thing to happen, it takes a village. And we have all the great forces come together. AICTE, AppShe, Smart Bridge, supported by the Salesforce and all the great heads involved in the program. And it's not a easy thing. It's not a small thing. I want everybody to realize how important this program is. And we would consider anything that comes free as not so valuable, like we would take it for granted, but this program is priceless. So I suggest all the students to take this as a serious thing and make it as a goal to complete whatever that is taught in the trainings, to complete and do some homeworks after these sessions. So you're well acquainted and you're ready to take the certifications. And then when the career fair or some opportunity strikes, you're ready to take the opportunity. I think you're able to see the screen. So just to motivate you, I would like to share my story. I think Ramya has given enough information about me, but I would add a few things to my Salesforce journey. I started my Salesforce journey around like 10 plus years ago. I was an accidental admin, I would say. I was working as a release manager and I got an opportunity. I was helping the other team with their Salesforce implementation. And then I fell in love with Salesforce and I thought, why won't I move to Salesforce, make my Salesforce as a full-time? So I moved to Salesforce, and then in the Salesforce, I explored different clouds. We have many clouds in Salesforce, like Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, Revenue Cloud, Health Cloud, Manufacturing Cloud, whatnot. It covers all the sectors. So I later found my love for the Marketing Cloud, and I'm now a marketing champion and a marketing consultant, and I do have my own company, that is the Accent, which I founded. And I have been consulting for various multi-million-dollar companies on the Marketing Cloud implementations. And I love giving back to the community, and I am active and I involve in many ways to mentor and inspire people to get started with the Salesforce or to progress in their careers in the Salesforce. At the same initiative, I have founded the MC Learning Camp, where I have conducted various sessions to help people learn Marketing Cloud. And I'm also proud to share with you that I am volunteer, and I am 2 times President's Volunteer Service Award recipient in the United States. So with that, I continue to give back to the community. So for the same reason, I'm here to share my story and inspire you and to help you understand what you can do with your career. So when I started my career with the Salesforce, I never thought I would be here today, what I am today. So whatever I am achieved with my career in Salesforce, with other options, I may not be the same person before. If I were doing the same job or I was in a different career path, I may not be in the same career progression. So I'm very glad that I am in the Salesforce community now, and I have found my Ohana. In Salesforce, we say that Ohana as a family. I found my friends, my close friends, who can support me both technically, both personally and emotionally as well. I found my love. My family is all into the Salesforce. My husband is Salesforce, and my kids all speak Salesforce. And to tell you about my beginnings, I'm a small town girl, and very humble beginnings, and often humiliated because I was the eldest of the 3 daughters, not so fair complexion, and many people considered that education for a girl child is not important. It's only a waste of money. It's just easy to get them married and send them away. But my father resisted everything, and he is the reason where I am here now. My tremendous support to the community also comes from those values that my father has provided. Whatever I'm giving back to the community, so that recognition came to me as a Golden Hoodie Award, which is granted by the Salesforce for the various initiatives that I have done to the community here in India, and as well as the immigrant women in the United States as well. I helped them learn Salesforce overcome their fears and build their confidence and get them ready for the jobs. So I'm very glad that I am part of this. And today I am here to share with you a few other tips as you are all starting a new phase in your life. As I said, this is a wonderful opportunity for you guys. So I want you to take this seriously. But whenever you are starting a new journey, you will have so many questions. What is Salesforce, first thing? And what are the career opportunities? But we have already heard from Ms. Sridevi and Dr. Kehim Chandra and many others. Ramya also mentioned what are the career opportunities and what is the growth prospects and the number of job opportunities that are available in the Salesforce. There is no doubt that you will have very great opportunities in the Salesforce. And then I hear a lot of questions from the students that they may not like the technology because there are many other technologies available and they see something more challenging, something more demanding, that they may want to prefer the other technology. For example, maybe they like Java and maybe other things. But in the Salesforce, we have many different clouds that you can explore. The same way that happened in my experience, I started in the Salesforce as an admin. I explored different clouds, and then I found my love for the Marketing Cloud. And I switched to Marketing Cloud and really love Marketing Cloud, and I have been doing consulting in the Marketing Cloud for so many years now. So in the Salesforce, there are many clouds that you can explore, and you can decide for yourself what you would like and what path you want to choose. And in this cohort as well, you have different tracks, the admin track and the developer track. Not just that, once you get acquainted with the technology, you can find more career paths, like maybe the BA, or once you progress in your career, you can be an architect, a solution architect, or a functional architect, or a technical architect. So there are multiple paths that you can choose. And also, the Salesforce is spread across multiple sectors and domains. So you can choose whatever you like. And finally, I would like to share a few tips for you as you are getting started. So take this as a God-given opportunity. I have told you enough times now. This is a wonderful opportunity. I would stress it more because I would say if somebody has to take a course in the Salesforce admin track, that course itself costs some few $1,000s. And this course has everything packed from right from the beginning, introduction of what is Salesforce, along with the resources, the developer environment that you can try, do hands-on exercises and project experiences, the super badges, and you can earn certifications. And Salesforce also supports, the Salesforce community also supports a lot. So this has a lot of value. Don't take it easy, take it seriously. And whenever you're doing all these, taking these courses and following the sessions, after the session, go back and refresh what you have learned and follow the Trailhead resources. And after the session, be sure to go and check the Trailhead and get acquainted with the terminology. In the session, you will hear a lot about the badges, projects, super badges. The sooner you get acquainted with all the new technology, you will understand more. And do homeworks regularly. Whatever the session is, whatever the topic of the session for today, go back and refer to the Trailhead resources, and every day refer to the Trailhead resources, do your homework, and be prepared for the next session, and be one step ahead and be ready to take the certification. And when the opportunity comes to you, then you will be ready to grab the opportunity. And set your goals. Because without goals, we won't be focused. So set your goals that this week you want to complete this many number of modules. And Trailhead is also available on the phone. You have this Trailhead Go app that is supported on the iOS and Android. So you can even install it on the phone and complete the badges whenever you have some free time. And keep do the hard work, and definitely when the opportunity comes, you will be successful and you will be right there. And thank you, everybody, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you, Joshna. That was really wonderful and inspiring story. And I hope all the students would have taken a note how to go about this internship, and they'll take advantage of the points that you have shared. So moving on next, we have our next speaker, Mr. Yudhishthir Yadav, National Lead, Trailhead Academy, Talent Initiatives, Salesforce. Having pursued his EPSM, Sales and Marketing from IIM Calcutta, Mr. Yudhishthir has over 12 years of experience in the industry. He is one of the young creative business leaders with a wealth of strategic business conception and transformation, executive relationship building, both government and industries, program management, client relationship management, business development, and executive relationship skills acquired across a wide range of demanding roles. So I request Mr. Yudhishthir Yadav to please address the participants. Over to you, Mr. Yudhishthir.
Thank you, Ramaya, and give me heads up if you can hear me. Just need a confirmation. Yeah. Perfect. I'll start with a small couplet today, and couplet is like this: that कौन कहता है आसमां में सुराग नहीं हो सकता, एक पत्थर जरा तब्बत से उछाल के तो देखो. We had Jyotsna today on the call, who's epitome of what you can achieve in Salesforce. She's a live example of how you can start small, and then how can you scale it with quality and keep on achieving new things every single day. She's golden hoodie recipient. I request all the learners who are on the call today, irrespective of where you come from, read about golden hoodie recipient in Salesforce ecosystem. This award comes with a lot of responsibility. You may have done something substantial, because globally there are people who are waiting to achieve this award, and there are only a few who gets it in the Salesforce ecosystem. And as Shiva said, we have about 11 million people in the Salesforce community all across the globe. And if you have only few who get this award, that means they have done something great. Personally, wanted to thank AppShe team, Dr. Kehim Chandra, Dr. Ramarao, to agreeing. And I still remember my first meeting with them. And this happened in March, where Devi called everybody saying that, no, let's look at this state who is really, really interested to do new things, experimentate. They're actually setting up examples for other states to implement programs in engineering college, to change fast the academic curriculum, to allow everybody have a flexible way to implement it. And I remember from that day to now, we're launching this exclusive cohort for states of Andhra Pradesh. But let me also tell you, even in cohort 1, Andhra was actually number 1 in terms of total number of users who were attending the cohort and virtual internship and completion as well. Out of 10 top 10 colleges we had in cohort 1, we had 3 from Andhra Pradesh, which is MVGR, Lendi College, and Shashi College. So all 3 of them performed really well. They scored their seat in top 10 colleges to perform in our first cohort of virtual internship. And I think it was not that AP was waiting for opportunity. It actually made us realize that we can do a substantial impact because of the buying and the interest from the government, from APSHI and the APSHI leaders along with NASSCOM. And that actually pushed us, drove us towards the state. We visited them, we met them in personally, we felt really great, but we didn't have that day Sridevi to witness it. I think we cumulated this program to have her as part of the program. We're launching officially today the program for about more than 40,000 learners in the state. And the only thing I would request all of you is that it is not finished until it is finished, right? Until you taste it, right? I request whosoever has enrolled in this program, please ensure that you complete it. You invest your time to consume this program. The only assurance which I can do from my side is that we have ensured enough supporting systems for you. You will be part of Slack group. There'll be emails on which you can drop your queries and everything else. Do not hesitate to come back and tell us you are stuck. We are there to support, to handhold you, to make sure you move from the place you are stuck at. And that's the only assurance I have. But in return, I need a promise from all of you that you will ensure you complete it, you'll make your state proud, and all of you at some point in 2 months will publish on LinkedIn, or if you use any other professional social media network for publishing what you are achieving professionally, that you have completed. You will make everybody aware that you're moving, you're learning new things, and you are actually ready to aspire, move forward in your career. So that's it from my side. I have SmartBridge team who will actually follow after my conversation and my inputs to you today. They will take you in detail on the program. And I think today is also our first day to start the training. So over back to you, Ramya.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Yudhishthir. And I think that was really motivating for the students. I hope everyone take all the advice from all the speakers and then take a good start for this virtual internship program. So we also have Dr. K. Ram Mohan Rao Garu, and he's Vice Chairman APSHI. I would request him to speak a few words. Please, over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, madam. Very happy to be part of this group. So I have very excited to see that this kind of activity is happening in Andhra University. It is not just a good beginning, it is really a great beginning, going along with the Salesforce and other companies which are looking forward to support the youth of the state to face the emerging challenges in the world. So much is happening, and new job markets are emerging in technology fields. And most of them are replacing the earlier positions in the market. So unless otherwise the students are geared up to catch those challenges, we are not justifying by giving the conventional education to them. So it is the right time for the students to catch up the new trends that are emerging. So far in Andhra Pradesh, to the best of my knowledge, the virtual internship is limited to only 1% of the total students. Now we are expanding it to 100%. This is really a transformational change that is happening. Definitely with the vision and commitment that is shown by the Honorable Chief Minister and the leadership that is being provided by Professor Kehim Chandra Reddy, leading at the top for the Andhra Pradesh State Council of Higher Education. So for the first time, the corporate giants having a global reputation, extending their helping hand to the students to nurture skills that are required to face the 21st century challenges. This is a golden opportunity this generation is having now, and it is for the students to exploit the opportunity that is available to them. Now, so much of ecosystem is developed to handhold these students. They have to now come up and gain the relevant competencies and strengths to transform themselves and to contribute for the development of the society. So we are very happy and thankful to the Salesforce, NASCAM, particularly Sridevi, Shukumar, the Dister, Josna for the excellent presentation now, and Amarnath for SmartBridge, and so many other corporations. They are coming up with a very wonderful opportunities to the students. We at the Andhra Pradesh State Council of Higher Education welcome all of you with very warm heart to come together. Let us work together for the good of the society, for the development of the society, to transform the demographic dividend, what we are calling about, to be in the country as the highly qualified and skilled human resource, which is the entire world is looking at towards that human resource. So now India should be a supplier of highly skilled human resource to vast number of countries around the world. And that is the potential we have to exploit. And from the Andhra Pradesh, we are making a step forward with all your support, with all your cooperation. And I'm sure that definitely we can make an impact, a positive impact in the higher education system, and become a model for the rest of the country. So emulate this kind of arrangement and this kind of model to move forward. So thank you very much for the opportunity given, and we look forward for all your wholehearted support in transforming higher education system towards the kind of changes, dynamic changes that are happening around the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. And I hope everyone would really collaborate for such kind of things that you have just mentioned about. Yeah, please go ahead, Mr. Yusuf. You're saying something.
Can I take a minute, please?
Dr. Kehim Chandra wants to say something.
Ramya, this professor.
Yes, sir.
Please, sir.
Sir, here was a kind submission, sir. Almost 8,000 TPOs and students are following this, sir. So request you to please convey the best wishes to them, sir.
Yes. Ramya, just a minute. Two things. I'll be failing in my duty if I don't thank Amrendra of SmartBridge. In fact, they gave us this wonderful opportunity. Amrendra, I'm extremely sorry for not mentioning you at the beginning. Thank you very much for being there with us. And as Dinesh has rightly pointed out, about 8,000 of the students are following. I must sincerely thank all of them for taking this call and enrolling themselves. And I must not forget the role played by the college principals and training and placement officers. In fact, for the first time, we started working as a team. to the entire state on behalf of State Council of Higher Education, my sincere thanks are all due to Smart Bridge and, of course, need not mention the Salesforce team, then Devi and all my team, the principals, training and placement officers. Last but not the least, the students who have shown unlimited enthusiasm in joining. Thank you for coming in between. I'm really sorry for coming in between. Thank you for the opportunity given. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. It was a pleasure to have you.
Ramaya, you speaking?
Now we have come to the end of the program, and on behalf of SmartBridge, I would like to thank you all once again for graciously joining us this event and making this launch a grand success. And I hope all the students will also do good in this virtual internship program. And moving on next, we have our colleague, Mr. Jay Prakash, who will actually take you through the program, how exactly the process and what do you have to go through to get the most out of it is what. Over to you, Mr. Jay Prakash.
Yep. Yeah, thank you. Thanks a lot, Ramya. And thank you everyone for graciously visiting the launch of special cohort to Andhra Pradesh region. And Ramya, a small correction, this is the beginning, not the end of the program. So we are ready to start the actual training.
Yeah, sure. So, I meant the launch. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, so very quickly, it's almost, we took a lot of time of students, but this is very much required for them to understand, how much efforts, all together, all the companies, the government, and the higher education is putting to benefit all of the students who are present here. So very quickly, I would like to walk them across the journey, how exactly they are going to work as part of this virtual internship program. And then I would give them the details of how do they access the courses and all of those stuff very quickly. And let me share my screen. Yeah, Rima, please confirm if my screen is visible.
It's visible, Jay. Yeah, please proceed.
Yeah. So, let me break down, the journey for you all. So basically, it's a 2-month-long virtual internship program, and you'll be having live hands-on sessions starting from today. You have a separate calendar also, which we have shared you across while sending these Zoom links to you. So I'll anyhow share the links here in the chat after I complete this particular program structure breakdown. So for the first 3 weeks, you're going to have live sessions by our trainers, expert trainers. So 3 hours, for each session, and for each week you have 2 live sessions. Overall, you have 6 live sessions, contributing to 18 to 20 hours of hands-on training provided by the trainers. So you don't have to attend every day. There are no everyday live sessions, but we are giving you a clear handbook and the calendar, which you need to follow every day. If you spend about 1 to 2 hours, then this entire journey would be fulfilled successfully. So for the first 3 weeks, we are going to organize live sessions. And parallelly, we are asking you to complete few course modules on the Trailhead platform. So in a week, 2 live sessions, and the remaining days you have to spend working on the course modules on the Trailhead platform. That is how this structure has been designed. We want you to hold you while you are working on the course modules, and come back in the next session and discuss the difficulties that you came across while you are working on the modules. And then we teach you the concepts that that you have to take up the courses in the next few days, and also this is how it goes. So once this process is done for the first 3 weeks, you start working on a project or a super badge on the Trailhead basically. So this is the major part where you spend a lot of time in actually working on a use case. So that's where you get a practical knowledge, and these super badges are so powerful that will enable you to write the global certification exams also after this virtual internship program. And many companies, many startups are willing to hire students who complete these super badges. So that's the beauty of this super badges. So we want everyone to complete these super badges as part of this virtual internship program. So from week 4 onwards, we are asking you to complete the super badges. And while you're working on this, we have special mentoring session also organized weekly once, where you can interact with the mentors and clarify your doubts whenever you're working on the super badges, and you can complete them. And this will go until next 3 to 4 weeks. 4 weeks of time is given to you. So maximum amount of time you spend on the super badges in this virtual internship program. And once you complete the super badge, you can submit to us. You can post in LinkedIn, say to the community that you have achieved this. So that's a great achievement, because you're spending about 100 to 120 hours of time learning this technology. So it will fetch you a lot in your career. So then we verify your work, and we also include soft skills training in the end, because we have a career connection, or helping you to get into the Salesforce ecosystem. It's a very important component that we are bringing in as part of this virtual internship program. So we are organizing soft skills training as well, to provide you few necessary skill sets, not just the technical skills as part of the program, but also adding the component, soft skills component to you, so that you get into the companies with ease. Okay. So once you complete all of this journey, so in the 8 weeks of time, people who ever completed the super badges and complete all the modules, you'll be getting virtual internship completion certificate, and then you are eligible to join the career phase or always on Career Connect, powered by Monster. So we even partnered with Monster to bring multiple companies who are actively looking for candidates like you who complete these course modules and complete certifications. So we are bringing in that career component as well. So this is how the overall crisp program structure looks like. So as I was mentioning about the calendar and the handbook that we have designed for you. So let me just show you very quickly. Yeah. So this is a handbook which we have prepared. So this handbook is something that will give you end-to-end details about this program. Where do you start? What do you do? What modules you have to do? And which day, which module you have to do. So we are in day 1 of the entire journey now. So you start from day 1. And what do you do on day 1? What are the topics that we are covering as part of the day 1? So as you can see here, week 1, day 1, live session. This is the content we are going to cover today. And then day 2, day 3, we are asking you to do courses on the Trailhead platform. So which courses, these are the courses you have to do. And day 4, again, live session. So something like this, every day you have an activity, and we have clearly mentioned it on the handbook that is prepared. And you simply have to follow this handbook every day and go through these modules in order to complete this entire journey. And I hope everyone received it. I know many of them will come up, I don't have these, I didn't get it. So for the benefit of others, I'm putting it in the chat as well. Yeah. So you can access this handbook through this link, which has been provided in the chat. Yeah. So we even have a calendar, which we have shared across. So this calendar will help you to understand on what date, what activity you have, when are the live sessions happening, when are the self-paced trainings happening, when do you have a Ask a Mentor session, everything date-wise you have for the next 60 days, 2 months of time, whatever is been given to you. From start to end, everything is clearly mentioned in this calendar. So please follow this calendar and the handbook to seamlessly complete this virtual internship journey with us. And we would again share you all the details. I hope there are few students who have few doubts regarding this handbook and the calendar. We will again mail to everyone. And you even have to access SmartIntern's platform, and from there, the journey to the Salesforce virtual internship starts. And you have a very important step to be done, especially for the developer enrolled students to join or to create your accounts on NASSCOM Future Skills Prime platform as well, because you can access the Trailhead learning modules, the developer catalyst via NASSCOM Future Skills Prime platform only. So that journey is available on the Smart Intern platform. If you log in and if you click on Start Learning, it will automatically redirect you to the NASSCOM Future Skills Prime platform where you need to create the account. So this journey is already been shared to you via the document before you come here. So we'll again share with you through multiple channels like Slack or mails, whatever communication channels we have. With the help of AppShape, we are going to be connected with you and share all the information. So thank you everyone, and have a wonderful learning experience going forward. And I request Deepanshu to take over and start your training. And thank you everyone. Thank you, Salesforce team, Yudhishthir, Shukumar, and especially Sridevi ma'am. Thanks a lot for giving us full support since the beginning. And I expect to have same and let us all together make this special cohort very special in the entire India. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Deepanshu, over to you.
Thanks, Jay. Good evening, everyone. So today, just a brief introduction about myself. My name is Deepanshu. I've been into Salesforce space from last 6.5 years. So I've worked as an admin developer and now as a solution architect for one of the Salesforce consultancy, and do a bit of have my hands on training also. So today we would be starting with the introduction of the Salesforce. We'll get you guys familiar with what actually Salesforce is, that we have been listening from various speakers in this forum.
Deepanshu, sorry to interrupt you. There is one important thing which I missed. So today, everyone who joined here are from admin and developer enrolled tracks. So we have a separate Zoom session which will start for admin, and this particular window is for developer track. So I request everyone who have enrolled for admin to join other Zoom link, which I'm sharing it in the chat for your reference. And I'm even displaying it on the whiteboard for the benefit of people who joined via YouTube. Let me do that quickly. So use this particular link to join admin live session that is starting now. And all students who enroll for developer, please stay in this particular Zoom link, and Deepanshu will continue. But people who enroll for admin track, please join the other Zoom session which is happening using the link displayed. I'm putting it in the chat again. Please confirm, Ramya, whether you are able to see in the chat.
Yes, Jay, we are able to see the link.
I request all admin.
Sir, excuse Jay Garu.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Sir, as discussed, by mistake, few students are selected for the developer role, and they are requesting to. Many of them are requesting to switch from admin to developer, developer to admin.
So for all of them, I request them to first join this session, and we already circulated a form to fill in case they wanted to shift their domain. So using that responses, we would change the track accordingly. For now, whoever wanted to join for admin, they can use this link, and who wanted to learn developer concepts can stay in this particular Zoom link.
Yeah, thanks, sir.
Yeah, so I hope everyone who wanted to join for admin have moved to the other Zoom link. I request Deepanshu to continue. Let me stop my screen.
Yeah, thanks.
Deepanshu, over to you. Please continue.
Yes, yeah. So today, as I mentioned, that we would be, we would be making you guys familiar with what is Salesforce, what we should understand by the statement Salesforce is a cloud computing company, or we will have, what is cloud computing, what is CRM. We will be discussing all about these stuff today. So what is Salesforce? Salesforce is a cloud computing CRM. Okay. When we say cloud computing, when we say CRM, so we will first discuss about cloud computing. So when we say that, cloud computing, it means that we don't have any physical machine or physical server to work on. All our application is being hosted over the cloud. That is the, virtual space, or the physical servers is being maintained at the virtual location, or physical servers being maintained at some remote location, and we are accessing we are accessing application, we are accessing different services without actually maintaining the servers in premises. Okay, so that is cloud computing. We will discuss more about it, and we will get familiar to what I'm trying to say. So forget about Salesforce now. Think about Facebook and Google. Okay. So when we say Google, Google is also a cloud computing company. Why cloud computing? Because even for Google, we are using various products of Google. Like we are using their search engine, we are using Gmail, we are using G Drive, we are using Meet. All these tools are what? These are the tools which are being provided by Salesforce to us. But we are not actually owning these tools, or we don't have these tools stored in our system, right? We don't have these tools stored in our system. So, but we are actually using these tools. In order to use these tools, what we have a computer in which we must be having a browser and the internet connection with us. That all is required in order to consume the cloud computing services which any of the cloud computing companies providing. Similarly, when we say Salesforce is a cloud computing CRM, so when we are saying cloud computing, means that in order to use the services of the Salesforce, we will discuss about what all services does Salesforce providers, or does any of the cloud computing service providers. But when we say that Salesforce is a cloud computing company, means that all the services which we are using, which Salesforce providing us, for using those services, we need not to actually hold anything on our machines. Okay, or we are not think about business applications. Okay, so we are not required to own the software, or we are not required to maintain the, we are not required to maintain different servers at our premises in order to maintain our IT application or IT infrastructure when we are talking about cloud computing. So cloud computing is a virtual, is a virtual space over internet through which we can utilize the various services for which we doesn't need to maintain anything physically. So what are the different types of, service which cloud computing company provides us? So first one is IaaS, that is infrastructure as a service. We will be discussing about that. Then we have platform as a service, and then we have software as a service. So first let's discuss about software as a service. So what is software as a service which any of the cloud computing company provides? So when we say software as a service, it means like if you talk about Google, you have different softwares of Google which you are using, right? What are these? We have already discussed. We have search engine, we have G Drive, we have Gmail, we have Word. All these softwares are the one which Google provides us against what? Against our username and password. Okay. So you must be having your Gmail ID and a password against it. Once you log in into the Gmail account using your email ID and password, you are being redirected. You are being redirected to the, you logged into the Google environment, and then you are free to use any of the software. So what Google is doing, it is providing you software as a service. In order to use this service, you need not to maintain that, you need not to download that software into your device. You just need to have a browser and internet connection and a machine on which you actually have the browser.
Okay. Yeah, can you put the full screen, Dipanshu, if possible, so that students can see the text clearly? Slideshow, I mean.
Yeah. So that is software as a service. So Google is providing us what? Search engine, Gmail, Google Drive, Meet, all these. Similarly, Salesforce is providing us what? Salesforce is providing us various clouds. What are these various clouds? We have Sales Cloud, Marketing Cloud, Service Cloud, Community Cloud, Hospitalization Cloud, Commerce Cloud, and all different kind of clouds. We would be discussing few about few of these clouds also. And since it is an enterprise level application, so it is not meant for Salesforce applications are not meant for the personal use. Like the way we have Gmail, right? It is for personal, like an individual can utilize the software, Gmail, G Drive, and so on. But as if we talk about Salesforce, these are the application level. Enterprise level applications, which is being used by different employees of different department of the enterprise. So when we say Sales Cloud, so all the sales team, we would be discussing about that also. But say suppose in Maruti, you have a sales team. So that sales team would be doing a certain sort of business processes, right? They would be reaching out to people with their product in order to sell their product. So the data which they would be generating through that interaction, or the data which they need in order to make the sales, all that data is being managed by Sales Cloud. Okay. So similarly, we have different clouds for different team of the company or for different business processes in the industry. So all these clouds Salesforce provides us as a service. So now, unlike Gmail, their revenue model, like in Google, we need not to pay anything to Google in order to use the Gmail or to any of their software as a service. Though they also have few of the applications for which they charge, but generally they don't charge. Whereas in Salesforce, whenever we are using any of their when any of their software as a service, Salesforce charge business the amount per user license. Okay, so say suppose there are 15 salesperson who are using your application, and all the 15 persons hold the username and password against their access to the Salesforce application, be it Service Cloud, Sales Cloud, or Marketing Cloud. Then the business would be paying Salesforce against all these 15 licenses. So that's how Salesforce provides us software as a service. Salesforce provides us all these clouds. Then second, we have platform as a service. So what is platform as a service? Salesforce provides us a platform on which we can develop the different applications. So what is this platform, or how we understand what we mean by platform? Say suppose you have say suppose you create any website or you write a code on C or on Java. Whenever you are writing a code on Java, you need to have a JDK installed in your system so that system can compile your Java code and can show the expected result. So the platform behind that is JDK, right? You are writing the code in Java and you are executing, your system is executing your code over the library which has been there in the JDK. Okay. Similarly, different way of creating the website in which you have the click and drop functionalities like WordPress. Okay, in which you just say suppose if you have to create a UI, a user interface in which you are taking some input from the user, you just have to click and drop that particular component onto your screen in order to build that UI. Okay, so this is also a platform. Salesforce provides us such a platform through which we can develop enterprise level applications using different capabilities of those platforms. We would be discussing about those capabilities in a brief. Okay. So some of the capabilities, like now when we say that Salesforce provides us a platform through which we can create a business enterprise level application through configuration and through customization. So what we mean by configuration customization? Configuration is out of the box tool which Salesforce provides us, which doesn't require actual coding. Okay, you just have to click and drop function. You just have to click and drop all the required component in order to build your application. Whereas whenever some business logic are such complex that these click and drop functionalities doesn't gives justification, or you cannot build those business logic through this click and drop functionality. In that case, you have to write the code, that is the customization. So Salesforce provides us a platform to write a code also in order to build your enterprise level application. So what kind of platform does Salesforce provide us? Salesforce provides us a platform on which we can build our application, and that to enterprise level application. Okay. Then the third service which Salesforce provides us is IaaS, that is infrastructure as a service. What is infrastructure as a service? You need not to maintain your server, or you need not to maintain your database, because anyhow, whenever you would be using any of your cloud or any of your software, what actually you would be doing, you would be creating the data out of it, right? Even take the example of any of the IT tool or any of the application, be it mobile application or be it your G Drive, Facebook, anything. Whenever you are using these applications, you are actually generating the data. So you need to hold that data, or you need to store that data in somewhere, right? So Salesforce provides us that infrastructure, again in a subscription model. Salesforce provides us that infrastructure that we need not to maintain our databases, neither we need not to maintain our, neither we are required to maintain our server where our application is being hosted. All these infrastructure is being taken care by Salesforce at the very first end. So what are these cloud computing services? We have three cloud computing services: software as a service, platform as a service, and infrastructure as a service. Software as a service, we can think of, we can compare it with the Google, like Gmail, G Drive, Meet, Google Meet, and many other software which Google provides us against our username and password. Similarly, Salesforce provides us many of the clouds. What are these clouds? These are the business application which actual business person would be using in order to fulfill their business task. Okay. Then we have the platform as a service. What is this platform as a service? Salesforce provides us a platform on which we can build our enterprise level applications in a very managed sense, and that over the cloud. So whenever we are building our application, we are not We are not concerned about the security, since Salesforce is providing us that security over the data as well as for the hosting. We need not to maintain any server in order to host our applications. Since Salesforce is taking care of that. Salesforce provide us very interactive tool where we need not to actually have the coding skills. We just have to click and drop functionality. We just have to use the click and drop components, various components which Salesforce provide us. And if our business logic cannot be built through those click and drop functionalities, then we can write a code also over these platform. Okay. Then infrastructure as a service. So all the servers, all the databases we need not to maintain at our site, that is being taken care by the Salesforce. So that was about the cloud computing. Now, as I told you, Salesforce is a cloud computing CRM. So we have understood what is cloud computing, and when we say cloud computing, any of the cloud computing company provide us what kind of services. Now we would be discussing about CRM, that is customer relationship management. Okay. So what is customer relationship management? Let me give you a layman example in order to get you familiar with the CRM. Any business process where customer comes in place comes under the scope of CRM. So how we will decide that whether in a given process, customer is involved or not. So say suppose Maruti is manufacturing their car. Okay, so when Maruti is manufacturing their car in its factory, customer is not involved, right? They are maintaining their vendor list from which they are purchasing the steel, from which they are purchasing the various part of engine, from which they are purchasing glass and other many things. Okay, they have all their vendor list, their employees data. Also, they would be maintaining their employees data. They would be maintaining their inventory. They would be maintaining their designing team. All these things they would be maintaining in their factory when they are manufacturing a car. But in all this process, there is no involvement of customer, right? Till the time product is being created, there is no involvement of customer. Then if there is no involvement of customer, means that no CRM tool is being used till the time the product is being created. What kind of tool, IT tool, does these business processes use till the time product or service is being created? ERP, enterprise resource planning softwares. Okay, so SAP is one of the ERP tool which is right now dominating the market. So whenever we are talking about managing our internal processes of the company, so what we mean by internal processes, like managing our workforce, managing the inventory in our factory, all these things is being taken care by the enterprise level ERP softwares. But as soon as our product or service being created, say suppose Maruti have created one car, Ertiga. Okay, as soon as they have manufactured a car, they need to reach out to people through various advertisement. Okay, through various, they would be launching various campaign in which they would be reaching out to prospective customers through various ways. What kind of ways they would be? Either they would be, doing door-to-door campaign, email marketing, or they would be running the ads on the TV, on various electronic platforms. They would be anyhow reaching out to customer. When they are reaching out to customer, they need to, when they are reaching out to customer, they need to hold the data of the customer, right? When they are reaching out to customer, they need to hold the data of the customer. When we say they need to hold that, or they need to store the data of the customer, for that purpose, we have the marketing cloud with us. Okay. So any of the business process where customer is involved, in order to tackle that business process, we have a cloud in Salesforce. So for marketing, for doing the marketing, we have the marketing cloud. Through marketing cloud, we would be running different campaigns. We would be, we would be storing lead out of it. So just to give you a, understanding about how big these applications are, think about Vodafone or Airtel. Daily, they are, daily they are rolling out different plans. And for one region, say suppose for Hyderabad, they are rolling a plan of 180 rupees for 20 days. Okay. And for Bangalore, they are rolling a plan of 360 rupees for 20 days and so on. So they need to market all these products to their potential clients through any of the marketing ways. And they need to run all these campaigns parallelly. Okay. For different districts within a state, they are running campaign for their different products, okay, with different price line. All these complexities is being managed by Salesforce Marketing Cloud very, in a very efficient way. So just think of this scenario in with respect to whole India or with respect to, whole Asia or whole world. A particular company is being managing their different campaigns of different product at various places, and the leadership could see the, leadership could see the end level of reporting through these tools. And also their team are managing the data very efficiently through these tools. So that is the power of various software as a service with Salesforce providers. So in this case, Marketing Cloud. Once you have run the campaigns, then you have the lead with you. Okay. Once Maruti have run the campaign for Ertiga, now they have the lead with them. Say suppose government of Andhra Pradesh have shown interest in one of their car, that they are saying that we might buy 1,000 cars for our different officials in coming 2 years. Okay. Now Maruti have this lead with them. They need to work on this lead in order to sell their product to the prospective customer, right? So in order to sell their product to the prospective customer, there would be multiple round of meetings happening. There would be multiple round of codes, multiple time code would be shared between both the parties. Sometime government of Andhra Pradesh will reach out to Maruti that though we would be purchasing that much of car, but we want this kind of specialization in the car. We want bulletproof glasses and other, other requirement would be there. So they would be interacting with each other in order to close this deal. Through which platform they would be interacting? They would be interacting through Sales Cloud. Okay. All the data which is being generated through these meetings, all the data which is, all the triggers, all the business automations which would be happening against this sales in the sales process would be happening through the Sales Cloud. So that in this sales particular, sales business process, again, customer is involved. So in any of the business process where customer is involved, we have the CRM solution in place. Okay. After, say, suppose they have made the sales. So after sales, what will happen? We will have the service cloud. So any one of you must have, like all of you must have purchased some sort of electronic device at any point of time in your life, right? Once you have purchased the electronic device, you can reach out to the, say, suppose you have purchased a Samsung mobile. So after purchasing, somehow within the warranty period, your mobile get broken. So you would be reaching out to the customer support in order to seek the warranty against your product. Okay. As soon as you will reach out to your customer support through their system, they would be able to see all your details along with your device details. So at which particular platform they are able to see all these details. That is the Service Cloud. So after sales, customer would be interacting to the business through Service Cloud. Okay. Similarly, there are different business processes where customer is getting involved. Against all these business processes, Salesforce has given us a software to tackle these business processes. So that is the CRM. That is the scope of the CRM. We have just discussed about marketing, sales, and Service Cloud. You can think of, any of the many of the business processes or business case in this particular scope, like order management, commerce cloud, where you are interacting with any of the e-commerce platform. Here also in e-commerce platform also customer is being involved. We are anyhow showing our product and customer is going and purchasing. So that is also a part of CRM. So any business process where customer is involved is a part of CRM. So now we have discussed both about cloud computing and CRM. What is Salesforce? Salesforce is a cloud computing CRM. So when we say cloud computing, means all the services which Salesforce provides is over the cloud. Okay, and all these different services Salesforce provide to the companies in a subscription model, where company have the advantage that they need not to take care of the security of the data. They need not to take care of the scalability of your business. Say suppose right now your sales team size is 20, but down the line your sales team size increased to 30 people. So you need not to worry about, like, in order to build your server or in order to extend your application, you need not to worry about all these things. You just have to ask Salesforce that instead of 20 license, I would require 30 license, and your job is done. So that's that kind of flexibility and that kind of advantage cloud computing companies offers to the their clients. Okay, and we have also discussed about CRM. So all the business processes which have a scope of customer involvement comes under the umbrella of CRM. So this is the general scope of CRM. We are having campaign. First, we are running the campaigns. Then we are generating the lead. After lead, we have the opportunity. What are these opportunities? Like government of Andhra Pradesh have shown interest to purchase 1,000 cars from Maruti. So that is the opportunity for them. Okay. After this opportunity, we will have the quote. What would be the quote? Maruti would be sharing a price against the product which government of Andhra Pradesh is willing to buy. So that would be the quote. After quote, what will happen? Purchase order would be generated. Government of Andhra Pradesh should be releasing a purchase order to Maruti, and after it, a sales order is being generated from the Maruti end. Then the delivery of the car will happen, and then the invoice will be shared with the government of Andhra Pradesh. So that is the overall cycle of the sales, like overall sales cycle. So what is Salesforce? We have already understood what is Salesforce. Salesforce is a cloud computing CRM. Then we have Salesforce additions. So what we mean by Salesforce additions? So as you know that Salesforce charges businesses based on the per user license. Okay. Based on per user license, Salesforce charges businesses. But say suppose one company want more services from Salesforce, whereas another company have a limited business process and they just want a lead management system from Salesforce. So Salesforce can't charge both their client the same fees. Okay. So there would be different additions for, there would be different addition for both of these clients. And based on the addition, Salesforce would be charging their subscription fees from the client. So right now we have 7 types of addition in Salesforce. What are these 7 type of additions? We have first have the personal addition, then we have the contact manager, then we have group addition, then we have professional addition, enterprise addition, unlimited addition, and developer addition. Okay. When you would be, when you would be doing the trailheads, you can read about all these additions, but the crux of this discussion is what is Salesforce additions. Different addition will have different subscription model. Say suppose, Wi-Fi. Okay, you have purchased Geo Wi-Fi. So they have different plans. Okay, based on the plan you pay the subscription fees. Similarly, Salesforce have different plan. For their sales cloud, they would be having different plan. The unlimited edition will have the most of the functionalities in their sales cloud or in their any of the cloud or over their platform license, right? So unlimited edition will have the maximum number of facilities which which end client can use. So unlimited edition will have the highest subscription amount. Similarly, Geo offers subscription from 400 to 2000 rupees per month, right? But in 400 rupees, the speed is limited to 30 Mbps, whereas in 2000 rupees, the speed is up to 150 Mbps or 200 Mbps. Similarly, in Salesforce, based on the additions, the capabilities of the software varies, and as per the capabilities of the software, Salesforce charges the subscription amount to the users. Okay. Then we have creation of Salesforce developer account. So let's create a Salesforce developer account. So I would be sharing my screen, just a minute. So what is this developer edition? So this developer edition Salesforce provide for learning purpose. Okay. So we need not to pay any of the subscription fees in order to maintain this. We need not to maintain, or we need not to provide any subscription fees for Salesforce in order to use this developer edition. Okay. In order to create your developer edition, what you need to do, just Google for developer or Salesforce. Sign up for your Salesforce developer edition. I request all of you to, follow these steps. I would be very slow. So first you have to search for developer edition. Create a developer org. Then I can share this link with you over the chat. And go to this link and then create your developer edition. So first thing, why we are creating this? So as to show you the, the actual application of Salesforce. You can give any username, okay, but the username need to be unique and need to be in a email format. Sign me up. So as soon as I will click on sign me up. Within few minutes, I should get a message over my email address, which I have mentioned on this form. And once I would be having the message or a mail in order to confirm my account, then we would be able to log in into our developer edition. So I request all of you to create your developer edition right now. Guys, let me know once you have created your developer edition. So right now, guys, as I'm seeing few of the questions, right now the topics which we are discussing are both same, are same for both developer as well as admin sessions. We would be actually starting our developer session maybe from third session onwards. So it's taking time to create the developer org. So what we would be doing, I would be using the developer org which I created for the last session. So what would be the URL from which you can actually land up on your developer edition screen? That would be login.salesforce.com. Okay. So this is the actual Salesforce application. And the way we have different services in Google, we have different services which we can use, or different clouds which we can use from this Salesforce developer edition. Okay. So suppose if I go for sales application, so there would be a relevant, there would be functionalities relevant to Sales Cloud on this particular screen. So that's how you can create a developer account. I will wait for another, 5-10 minutes so that you guys can create the developer account of your own. For all those who have created developer account, just raise their hand. I have already shared developer.salesforce.com sign up. On this, you have to fill just a form, mention your email ID, and within 5 to 6 minutes, you will receive a mail from Salesforce where they will ask you to log in into your developer account and set up your initial password. You can give any company name. Company name will not get, you can give just any company name, even your college name. Okay, that would be fine. And your username need to be in the format of email address. You can frame it anytime. You can frame, like, say, suppose I could see G Dhanalakshmi. So you can frame your username as g.dhanalakshmi anything @salesforce.com @gmail.com. Okay, just your username need to be in the email address. What is postal code? So you have the postal code of your area. You can just put that thing. Like mine is 250002. You must be having the postal code for your area also. Or you can put 25002. That won't make any difference. Chaitanya, that is fine. You can just fill out the form for developer edition and click on sign up. Then after 5 to 6 minutes, you will receive a mail with your developer edition confirmation. So right now it's 7:44. I am giving you 15 minutes time in order to create your developer edition. Guys, it will take time in order to create your developer org. So what we will do, we will just continue with our sessions. We will continue with our session for today. And meanwhile, when we will get the mail from Salesforce, we can confirm creation of your developer edition, because still till now I also didn't get the mail. What is postal code asked in the link which you send in chat for Salesforce developer to sign up? Reply me first. So guys, postal code is just, you can put any number in the postal code. Otherwise, postal code is what? It is your address postal code. Okay, let it be. We will continue with our session for today. So that was for the developer account. Okay, that's how you can create a developer account. Now, we have seen on the interface, like what is, what are different services which Salesforce providers through software as a service. For platform as a service, Salesforce will give us this very platform with different, tools in order to create the enterprise level applications. We would be discussing about those tools briefly, but you would be going ahead the trailhead for those tools thoroughly. Okay, in classes we would be just brushing up, or we would be just understanding the concept behind those different automation tools with Salesforce providers through this platform in order to build the custom, in order to build the enterprise level applications. And then in your when you would be doing the trailheads, which is being shared with you after the sessions, you will get more acquainted with those tools, automation tools with Salesforce providers out of the box. So this is the typical application of Salesforce which we have. What cloud it is? It is Sales Cloud. Okay. Now we have the sales application. We understand that sales application will have the data of the account. What would be the account? Account would be the data of the businesses, right? So say suppose Maruti is maintaining an account of government of Andhra Pradesh, right? The prospect buyer of their car would be the prospect buyer of their car would be an account. Okay, and under that account they would be creating an opportunity for 1,000 cars. Okay, so in account what all fields should be there, or in account what kind of data should be there? In account we will have the account name, phone number, fax, and other things. Industry, from which industry this account is, annual revenue of this account. Okay, so think of that Maruti is having this account. This sales application is of Maruti, and Suzuki Maruti is maintaining one account for Grand Hotel and Resort. Okay, so they are maintaining different information against their prospect customer, that is Grand Hotel and Resort, through this particular record. So what I'm trying to say over here is we understood that what is CRM, we understood that what is cloud computing, and we understood what is cloud computing, we understood what is CRM. We understood the level of application which we can build through Salesforce, but how actual data would be getting stored in the Salesforce, right? So all of you must be having an idea of how any kind of data is being stored in any of the application. Through tables we store the data, right? So through table we store the data. In Salesforce also we are storing the data in tables. What are these tables? So these different tabs are the tables. Account is the table. So we have a table of account which have all these entries, and we can create new entries in this account table. Similarly, we have lead as a table, task as a table, campaign as a table, reports as a table. But instead of calling them as table, we call them as object. Okay. Now, there are two kind of objects in Salesforce. One is custom object and one is standard object. So what is standard object and what is custom object? The object which Salesforce provides out of the box. Okay. So suppose I have opened a sales application. Okay. So under sales application, what are the common objects which any of the sales team would be using? Okay. What are the different business entities which any of the sales team would be dealing with? these would be account. So we were discussing about tables in Salesforce. So when we say tables in Salesforce, we say objects in Salesforce. Okay. So we have two kind of objects in Salesforce. First one is the standard object. Second one is the custom object. So what are the standard or the custom objects? When we have the the tables with Salesforce providers out of the box, okay, they are known as standard table or standard objects. The objects with Salesforce providers automatically. What are these objects? These are the standard objects. Why Salesforce providers out of the box or automatic? Like at the first point, Salesforce providers these functionalities. Why? Because these are the general business sales processes, okay, which every sales team would be using. All these data every sales teams would be using in their business thing. But say suppose one of the sales team have a special requirement, and that special requirement cannot be fulfilled from these business entities. For that purpose, you need to build different table in your database. Okay, so the custom table which we would be building in on this Salesforce platform, that custom table would be termed as custom object. So the objects which Salesforce provides us out of the box, or which we don't create in Salesforce, we already have in Salesforce. These are the standard object, and the object which we create manually through our effort, these are the custom objects. Okay. So how to create a custom object? Go to this gear icon, then go to setup. Under setup, go for object manager. Under object manager, you will have the option for create. Okay. So create custom object. So when you are creating a custom object, means you are creating a new table. You need not to write a DML statement in order to create a table in Salesforce. Over Salesforce platform, you will have this click and drop functionality. You will have this very interactive feature for creating a new custom object or a new custom table. So let's create a custom object and let's name it as demo custom or custom demo. So the label of this object would be custom demo. Okay. Let's give the plural form, that is the demos. And the object name, that is the API name, will be populated automatically. These are different options with us, like allow reports. So if you would be marking this allow reports, then system will allow us to create a report against the record of this object. So let's mark it as allow reports, then allow activities. I request all of you to, explore about allow activities. So when we say allow activities, it means against the record of this custom demo object, we can create the activities. What are the activities? Say suppose if you have to make a call against this record, then you can click on allow activities. Track field history. So you can search for this track field history, but just to give you understanding, if you would be choosing this option track field history, then whatever changes would be there against the fields of this particular custom object, you can track the changes made against these fields. We will click on save. Now in this custom object, you will have all these fields automatically created. Okay. What are these fields? Owner ID. So what is this owner? Owner will hold the ID of the user. Owner will hold the ID of the user who would be creating a record, who would be creating a particular record. Last modified, it will hold the value of a user who would be modifying that record, who would have modified that record latest. Name and created by. You can create new fields. We have different type of fields with us. Auto number, formula, lookup, master detail. We would be discussing few of them, but just to give you an overview, the above one is non-primitive type, and from here onward we have the primitive types data types. What are primitive types data types? Or primitive data types, and what are non-primitive data types? Primitive data types are the general data types like checkbox, currency, date. What kind of data we want to store in this particular field. So say suppose we like to hold the value of date. So we choose date as data type and we'll click on next. What would be the name of the field which you are creating? So field under the object are nothing but column under the table. Okay. The same way we create columns under the table, in a similar fashion, we create fields under the objects. Next. That's how we have created a new field on this custom object, which is named as custom demo. Okay. The name of the field is demo date, which would be holding the value of date. The data type of this particular field is date. Now what we will do, we will go to home and we'll search for tab, and we'll create a new tab for our new custom object. So we'll choose custom demo. Under the object, we will choose custom demo. You can give any label. Click on next. So these are different applications. These are the profile. We'll discuss about profile in coming sessions, not today. These are different applications. So we want to show the data of custom demo on which all application. We can choose it from here. Save. Once you have created a custom object, you have to create a tab in order to land upon the records of that custom object. Now, let's go to our sales application again. If I go to sales application, under more, I will have the entry of custom demos. Okay, the object, the custom object which we just created. We created a custom object and then we created this particular tab so that we can, what are these? All these are tabs. Okay, we didn't require to create the tabs of the standard object since Salesforce provides us out of the box. When I say out of the box means Salesforce provides us automatically. We need not to create it. So we created a custom object and then we created a custom object and then we created a tab named as custom demos. So if you navigate to this tab, through this tab, we can create the new record of the custom demo. We created one field of type date. So under this demo date, you can choose any of the date. You can see that in order to create all this view, we are not required to write a single line of code. Okay, all these things we did through click and drop functionalities. So that kind of capability this Salesforce platform provides us in order to build the enterprise level applications. Okay, we can create n number of tables. Obviously, there would be some sort of limitations. By limitations, we would be discussing about limitations today only, just after this custom object thing. Okay. So you can create n number of custom objects through click and drop functionalities and can create n number of fields over the objects in order to store your data. When I will click on save, this particular record will get saved onto our data, into the database of Salesforce. Okay, now you can see the name, record name. This is the custom field which we created, demo date, created by who have created this. So I have created this. The name of my user would be populated over here. That was Dipanshu. Last modified by. So I have created it and I have last modified it. So that's why my name is there. Owner. So whosoever have created this record would be marked as the owner of this record. This can be changed This can be changed based on the business requirement. But by default, owner would be the same who have created the record. So it's that simple to create the custom object or a custom table in Salesforce, then create different fields over this custom object, and then create the records in this custom object. So what is object? Object is a table. What are fields? Fields are the column. What are records? Records are the rows. Okay. And in any of the application, you have all these terminologies, and we have the similar terminologies in Salesforce. Just instead of table, we call it as object. Instead of column, we call it as field. And instead of rows, we called it as records. You can create your different list views in which, along with the record name, you can create, and you can see different field value on this list view only. So I will leave up to you guys, since how you can create different list views or what are list views. So just to give you a brief, you can, from this gear icon, you can click on new. And choose which of the option. So right now I'm choosing only I can see the listed views. Now through go for select fields which you need to display from this. Save. And as soon as you will save, you will have all these fields listed in the list view only. You can filter out, can create different filters also. So this is the list view. So we have understood how Salesforce stores data. Salesforce stores data in the same fashion in the through tables, but we name table as object in Salesforce. Under object, we have fields. Okay. Yeah. So we have table as object, column as fields. We have seen how to create a custom objects, how to create the custom fields, how to create the custom tab, how to create a custom views, right? So now let's discuss about, you have think of a school application. Okay, for your understanding, just think of a school application or your college application. Under your college application, what all kind of data you need to store. Yes, so right now we haven't discussed anything yet about the development. These all are the admin, because in order to pursue the development in Salesforce, first uh, you have to understand the admin concepts. Okay, so I am pacing up on the admin concept, and then we would be continuing over the development sessions. So right now it is admin only, or the general stuff which is required for both kind of profiles, admin as well as developer. Satvik, company name, you can give any name. You can give your college name. All of you, for company name, you can give your college name. So how Salesforce store data? Salesforce has object. Under object, we have different fields. So what are objects? Objects are the table. What are fields? Fields are the columns. And these are the records which are known as row in the tables. Okay. Now I was talking about, think of a school management application. So what all kind of data you would be storing in the school management application? You would be storing the data. You would be storing the data of the teacher, student, college, right? All these data you would be storing. Now there must be a relationship between teacher and the student. Otherwise, there is no point of storing the data of teacher and student in the same application, right? What all students is being taught by, like which student is being taught by which teacher, or which teacher is teaching what all students, okay, or which teacher is associated with which college or which class. All these links should be maintained in your database whenever we are talking about enterprise level applications, right? So there must be a relationship between different objects or different table, right? So we have typically three kind of relationships between different objects. What are these three kind of relationship? Let me create a blank notepad. Relationship between different objects, okay, and these object can be both standard and custom. What are these different kind of relationship? First one is 1:n relationship. Second one is N is to N relationship. Third one is 1 is to 1 relationship. So what is the example of 1 is to N relationship? A school is associated with multiple students, but vice versa is not true. Right? There can be multiple students in a single school, but at a single point of time, one student cannot be there in the multiple schools. Okay. So what kind of relationship this will hold? This will hold 1 is to N kind of nature, where one would be school and N would be students. Okay. So school and student will hold 1 is to N relationship, where 1 would be school and N would be students. Similarly, for N is to N relationship, what would be the example? Teacher and student. A student can learn from multiple teachers. Similarly, single teacher can teach multiple students. So you are able to visualize what kind of relationship we can have in any kind of database. Yes, Sheikh, you can give your email address also. Okay, so just try to visualize like how this relationship between different tables will have the actual meaning in the real life. Okay, so if you are trying to develop a school management app, so in this it would be obvious that one teacher can be taught by one student can be taught by multiple teachers. At the same time, teacher can taught one teacher can teach multiple students. So we need to have a N is to N relationship for establishing this requirement, right? Then we have 1 is to 1 relationship. What is 1 is to 1 relationship? One school will have one principal and one principal would be associated with one school. So here there is restriction that only a school can have one principal and a principal can be associated with one school. Okay. What would be the relationship between teacher and school? That would be 1:n, because a school can have multiple teachers, but a teacher will be associated with one particular school. So here at one end school would be there, and at an end teachers would be there. Okay. So these three are the typical relationship which exist in any of the database if we talk about relationship between tables. Okay. Now how we are maintaining these relationships in Salesforce. These are the layman examples which I have given you in order to make you understand what we mean by relationship between the tables, or what we mean by relationship between the objects. So in Salesforce, what method we have in order to establish this relationship? In Salesforce, we can achieve these relationship through master detail and lookup relationship. In Salesforce, we can achieve these relationship through master detail and lookup. We'll see what is lookup, what is master detail. Through lookup and master detail, from both these terms, we can achieve 1:n relationship. Okay. From both master detail and lookup, we can achieve 1:n relationship. Now, if I go to our application again, and let's go to setup, and again on the object manager, we have created the custom demo custom object. Okay. Now let's create one more object. Relationship demo. Master detail relationship demo. Okay. Or in this way you will get confused. So what I will do, actually I didn't get the mail for my developer or till yet. So I'm just waiting for it so that I can, we can build up the school management app all together onto our new developer org. Because in this developer org, this full management app has already been created. It's okay to put Salesforce in the company name. It won't make any difference. It's stuck in custom object creation. Where you are stuck in custom object creation, as after verifying the email, system will ask you to create your initial password. Right. If you are creating the Trailhead directory, Trailhead account, then you will have the playground, which are nothing but the developer role. So you can go through that also. No need to change postal code. Anything is fine. So Tarakesh, I guess for today, this much is sufficient. Since, I would like to go ahead with the master detail and look up with the new developer org as it will.
Yeah, it's totally depends upon you, Dipanshu. If you want to take up, then your wish. Yeah, if you are having any queries,
You are not clearly audible, Tarakesh.
am I audible now?
Yeah, now you are audible.
Yeah, it's totally up to you. Is the time slot given completed? We still have a few minutes. It would be
Yeah,
beneficial if you just revise once again the
yeah,
topics. That
sure,
would be beneficial.
right.
They are actually
Because
queries are regarding the account creation. If you can
yeah, so I
explain once again, then it would be grateful for everyone.
right.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Dipanshu.
So guys, in order to create your developer org, again, I am just showing you the full process. Just copy paste this link, which I have already put on chat. I will again put it on chat. Okay, once you are on this screen, just give your first name, last name. email address. Email address need to be a valid email address. Role, you can choose any role. Okay, you can choose any role. Developer, admin, any role. Company name, again, you can give any company name. It won't cause any issue to anyone. Any company name you can give. Country, region, it is good to select India since your account will have IST time zone automatically. Postal code, so you can either put your actual postal code or you can put any place postal code. Both would be fine, but that postal code need to be of India. Okay, so my place postal code is 25002. Username need to be in the format of a email address. Okay, and if there would be already a username, then you need, like, all the usernames need to be unique in Salesforce. So again, first of all, we would be continuing about relationship in our next lecture, in our next lecture or in our next session, so that we can work on the fresh developer org, and we would be creating and understanding all the concept through a school management app. Okay. So right now I am just reiterating myself how to create a developer org, since there are a lot of questions against it. So you just go to this developer.salesforce.com sign up, which I have put in the chat, then fill all the required details. You can fill all the required details. The only thing which matters in this full form is your email address. Okay, your email address need to be a valid one, since on that email address you would be receiving a link to authenticate your Salesforce developer org. Okay, name, full name, email address, role, again any role you can give. So you can think of creating a, you can think of creating a Facebook or a Gmail account. Okay, in any of the case, for both these things you need to have a valid email address, right? Other information, you can put the valid one or you can put the fake one. It won't matter. Anyhow, our developer org will get created and you would be able to understand different concept of the Salesforce through that developer org. Under company, you can put any name, be it your college name or be it any of the company name or be it your own name. It won't matter. Say it won't verify at any point of time. There is no mechanism to verify these company name in this developer org. Okay, country, region, I would suggest India only, and postal code, your local postal code. Okay, you all must be having a address. So against that address, there must be a postal code. You can put that thing. Username, first of all, it need to be unique and it need to be in the form of a Gmail address or email address. So you can either put your email address, but say suppose, right, like I have username dipanshu2311@gmail.com already. So that's why I have created this. That's why I have put this username. Okay. After filling all these details, click on sign me up. Okay. After this, we should receive a email on the given email ID. It may take hours, it may take a day time also. Or for some people, it may come quickly. Okay, that's how we can create a developer edition. It is the free edition with limited functionalities which Salesforce provides us so that we can learn different features of Salesforce. You have already received the email. It is just when you would be receiving an email, it will ask you to authenticate. When you will click on that link in order to authenticate, system will ask you to create your initial password. So you need to create your initial password, and it will ask you to configure your security question. The same way we do it whenever we are creating any of the Gmail account or any of the Facebook account. Is it okay, anonymous attendee? So Krishna Rao, as you can see that, in this lecture only we have understood what is Salesforce Cloud Computing CRM, what is the scope of cloud computing, and what is the scope of CRM. Okay, and using different out-of-the-box tool, you can create actually enterprise level application through Salesforce or in Salesforce. And when we would be actually discussing about the coding or the development stuff, you would be able to see like what all capabilities or what kind of applications we can develop or through this Salesforce platform. So right now it is, the market is very much open for Salesforce, and many of the actual businesses are using Salesforce application, because of which there is a huge demand of Salesforce admin as well as Salesforce developers. Yes, it is asking to verify it. Yeah, username you need to remember. Yes, you need to change the password. It's not changing, it's actually setting up your initial password. guys. So we will again meet on, I guess the next session is on 2nd of September. So we will meet on 2nd of September. We will continue our discussion for, creating the relationship between different objects in Salesforce. So we will try to understand how we can achieve 1:1 relation, 1:n relationship, how we can achieve n:n relationship in Salesforce, and different stuff also. Rakesh, you can end the session.
Yeah, actually, Deepanshu, I don't have any host permissions today. I'm asking the host permissions, but yet I didn't yet receive it. So I'm waiting for those permissions. Let me confirm with the team, okay? Just give me a minute, Deepanshu.
Sure, sure.
Yeah, Deepanshu, just a minute. I have just contacted the team. They will end the session.